Beytes from GrowerTalks magazine.
Hey there. Oh, we're about to get started.
Well, this is not California Spring Trials. It's a Poinsettia trial. Vaughn Fletcher.
That's right. Hey.
Representing Suntory today. I'm Chris Beytes from GrowerTalks magazine, and we are here at Heimos greenhouses, Millstadt young plants in Millstadt, Illinois. Looking at poinsettias. It's December, what is it, Jen? November 16th. Feels like December. November 16th, their big annual poinsettia trial. In fact, this is their 10th annual poinsettia trial. 5 different breeding companies represented here, 158 varieties, I think I wrote down. And we're going to take a look at each of those companies, starting right now with Dummen. Follow me. All right, I said our first stop is Dummen, and their first introduction here is called Ferrara. Kind of like that Italian sports car. Slightly different name, but it's red like it is. And the reason they call it that, it's fast to finish. This is a 7 to 7.5 week variety. Vigorous, works in any pot size, they say 4 to 12 inch, so it's very versatile. And this is their first early vigorous type, I was told. So that's Ferrara from Dummen Orange. All right, the next one from Dummen is called Bouquet. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, I am not a poinsettia expert, so I'm reading off of my notes. I'm not ashamed of that. Bouquet is named for its habit. You can see it in there, very upright. This is a mid-season variety, about 8-week variety, suited for high-density production in anywhere from 4 to 8 inch pots.
It's called bouquet because you can grab it.
It's like a flower bouquet. There you go. Thank you, Jen. And right 2 doors down here, next to their matinee, this one is called Red Soul. Let me pick one of these up for you. Get to my proper page here, but I kind of know this is one out of Ecky's breeding out in California. And this one is very dark leafed. Let's see if I can get some leaves there. And a very rich red bract. And also very uniform. This would be for 4 to 6 inch pots, and it's an 8-week variety. And all 3 of these reds will grow pretty much anywhere in the country, they say. So north to south, east to west. Now, let's go look at some euphorbia from Dummen. Well, we know euphorbias. Ecky and Suntory both introduced them. We had Love You Pink and we have Poinsettias. Now, out of Dummen's Red Fox side of the breeding, they've got their own euphorbias and they're calling them J'adore. There's actually 3 of them. They've got a hot pink, they've got a pink, lovely, and this one's real pretty, a pink blush. So there's 3 different ones. They're early. These are like a 7-week crop versus maybe say 9-week for the Love You. And they have a very even, nice mounding habit. Not so much the pagoda kind of habit as Rebecca Lusk, like in sort of the more uneven habit. And you could bloom these early for say October, breast cancer awareness or what have you. So that's 3 new euphorbias from Dummen. Now, over to some Syngenta varieties. They've got 2, I believe. First one from Syngenta is called Mirage Red. Now this is an early, mid-timed variety, about say November 15th, a compact to medium habit and a very nice upright habit, but note the brilliant red bracts and good dark foliage. Great for 4 to 8 inch pots, they say. This competes against premium and early prestige. So that's Mirage Red. And this beauty from Syngenta, that's pretty. This one's called Lyra Red, L-Y-R-A. It's claimed to fame, checking my notes again, I want to be accurate, a medium timed variety, November 20th or so. Great for 6 inch to 12 inch. Pretty much any size other than small ones. And you can grow it in any region, north to south. And its competition, Prestige, Christmas Wish, and Christmas Day with Lyra Red. So that's 2 new reds from Syngenta. Well, it takes a lot of work to find the varieties I'm looking here for, because there's 158 or thereabouts out here, but I'm looking for varieties from Beekenkamp, which is a Dutch breeding company. This is one of their 4 introductions. This is called Aries Red. Now, Aries is a 7.5 week variety with a very upright habit that's really good for bigger pots, especially say 8 to 10 inch. Very vertical, not a real vigorous brancher, which is why you might want it in larger pots. So Aries was over there. Leona, this is one I'm looking for. This is a 7.5 week variety. Let me find you a good specimen of this one. Well, they're all good specimens. This one, Leona, is, they say this is their prestige competitor. And Prestige is a great variety, and they're shooting for a strong upright shape, really good habit, great branching, thick branches as well. They say this one will pass the drop test. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to take any chances. This is a trial after all, and people need to look at these plants, but it looks like a good, strong variety. And they also say great shelf life as well. So that one's Leona. All right, here's another one I was looking for, Astro. Now, Astro Red, this is another 7.5 week variety, another one of those great for, say, Black Friday timing. Now, tremendous shelf life with this one. This is going to be great for 4 to 6 inch pots. You could do it in anything from like 2.5s to 10s, but they say that the sweet spot is like 4 to 6 is where it would be best. Competes against Premium Red and Enduring Red, and the key to this one is you could do this one in all 50 states. The last one I showed you, probably not great for the Deep South. Which one was that, Jen? You've got the memory. That was Aries.
That was Leona.
Oh, excuse me, Leona. Not great for the Deep South. This one, Astro, you could do in the Deep South. Now, lastly, suppose you grow for churches, as many people do. Right down here, we're going to find what they call a church variety. This one is called Hera Red. And let's see, pardon me, let me get over here in the light. This one, you could see just how big it is. It's also a late variety, as you can see from the way the bracts are not fully developed. An 8.5 week variety, say the first week of December, with an oak leaf kind of a habit. Very vigorous, as you can see from the size of it. And with a nice rich green foliage there. So that's more of an independent garden center or late season church variety called Hera Red. Now, who are we going to look for next? Selecta. Selecta 1. Let's go find some. They've got to be here somewhere. Well, Selecta 1, we're going to take a look at 3 varieties. Oh, I think one of them is not here, but we'll tell you about it. But here's one that is here, very important, with the catchy name SK148. However, they did give it a real name. This one's going to be called Christmas Spirit. Now, this is what they say is a very important one for them. This is the early vigorous, early meaning 7.5 week, vigorous, upright category. This fills a niche currently occupied by varieties like Orion, Early Prestige, and Freedom. And so they're looking for something that'll take over that Deep South Freedom market, and they say this one will do it. It's got good bract size. Those are big bracts, some of the biggest in the trial here, even under cool temperatures. So SK148, better known as Christmas Spirit, is going to be an important one for them. Now, the next one we're going to look for is called Christmas Magic SK153. Let me see if I can figure out where that is. It's got to be here somewhere.
Chris, I found it.
Look, Jen, you did a number, and you say you don't do numbers. Number 153, no less, better known as Christmas Magic. This will be coming onto the market for 2018. Now, this is an early compact red, and early compact is dominated by its neighbor here, Premium Red, a beautiful variety, but which tends to fade once it's been in the home for a while. And what Selecta 1 is really going for here is a non-fading bract. Whether or not they've got it or not, we'll just have to see. But this is a 7-week variety, about week 46, and great post-harvest, and it's good for all regions, they say, all regions of the country. Now, the next one I'd like to show you, it's not here. However, I think I've got a photograph of it, which is going to pop on the screen right now, I hope. This one is called Christmas Beauty Princess, and it says, you can see it's an ice punch type, an 8-week variety, kind of mid-season. The key is this is going to be the same price as regular red poinsettias, or regular poinsettias, not a premium. And in 2019, they plan on bringing out one called Christmas Beauty Prince, which will have a reverse color pattern from Princess. So there's a new novelty coming from Selecta 1. Now, next on the hit parade here, my buddy Steve Rinehart and his new introductions. Now, you may know the name Rinehart. Steve Rinehart, he worked for Ecke for 29 years in a variety of capacities. Ecke got bought up and kind of the brand is still there, but the company's gone. But Steve is still in the poinsettia business, breeding his own varieties. And this is the first time they've been seen out in a trial where growers can get at them, or journalists can get at them. And he does not have any names on his varieties. This one is a number, not just an experimental, number 257. Let's pick one up where you can get a close look at it. Still kind of coming into bloom here, but this is a compact 8-week variety, requires very few PGRs. He says this is a great one for the South. Even the deep South could be a Freedom replacement, as a matter of fact. But he also says 4 or 6 inch pots, nothing bigger than that. So that's Rinehart number 257. This beauty has the clever name 552 by Rinehart, and that is its name. He's not going to put regular names on these things. Now, 552, this is a great mainstream variety for 6 or 6.5 inch plants, Steve says. 8.5 week medium vigor. So it's a little bit of a later season plant. Heavy branching, as you can say, very upright, sturdy, and uniform. So those are the traits for 552. And how about another red from Rinehart, 874. Let me pick you one of these up. But you can see already, I think, from that overview, this is a florist grade variety. Kind of an oak leaf style. Some people might call it a holly leaf style there. Big and vigorous. Now, the old timers would have called this fancy grade. Us old timers who remember the florist business. And what's interesting, this one, he says, would be great for straight ups. In fact, probably better as a straight up, single, unpinched, one giant bract, several of them in a pot, than actually as a pinched plant. Although it'd be great as a pinched plant for South Florida growers where it's really hot. It'll hold up down there. So that's number 874. The last thing I want to say about Rinehart poinsettias, he does have a white that he's very proud of, number 619. It's an 8.5 week dark leaf variety, and so that's something else that he's got in the pipeline as well. So before we wrap up here at the poinsettia trial, I want to show you one other thing that I happened to learn about poinsettias, namely white poinsettias. Now, way back in the day, I used to grow poinsettias, and I thought I knew a fair bit about them, but I learned something today from Gary Vollmer, who is with Selecta 1. Gary knows a lot about poinsettias. He talked about white poinsettias, and everybody says, we want a pure white poinsettia, paper white, Casper the Ghost white, but we tend to get a lot of these sort of creamy ones. Now, you do get some. Here's two side by side, one nice and pure, let's say whiter white, a little more green white. But did you know, and here's what I'm about to teach you, the whiter the white, the thinner the bract, and that's what makes it white, and the more susceptible it is to botrytis and physical damage. So actually, the creamier or greener whites are tougher, stronger, more disease-resistant varieties. So it's very challenging to try to get a nice pure white and still have a good, strong, healthy plant. And that's why you don't tend to see pure white, paper white plants. So if you want a really tough white, maybe something a little more green or cream might be just the answer for you. Anyway, that's it from the Heimos Millstadt Poinsettia Trials 2017, their 10th anniversary. Plan to come down for 2018. It's a great visit. There was all kinds of companies exhibiting, everything you need to go along with your poinsettias, and a nice barbecue lunch as well. So we got to head back to Chicago, but we will see you next spring.